Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Ankura Education. Today's topic is about the semiconductors. In this lesson, I am going to tell you about the extrinsic semiconductors and their types, as well as the Fermi level of extrinsic semiconductor. And also I am going to add another topic, that is the variation of Fermi level with respect to the temperature. That means how the temperature affects the Fermi level of p-type and n-type semiconductors. So let's start our session now. Let's go to the Fermi level of n-type semiconductor. We know that if the fifth group elements or the donor materials, that is the impurities, are added to the intrinsic semiconductor, as a result of this we get an n-type semiconductor, and the energy band diagram of n-type semiconductor is as shown in the figure. This is the conduction band and this is the valence band. Here the Fermi level of intrinsic semiconductor is given by EFI, that is this level, and the Fermi level of n-type semiconductor is given by this line. This is more towards the conduction band rather than the valence band. So the Fermi level is an indication of probability of occupancy of energy states, because we are assuming that all the atoms are ionized. Each impurity atom contributes at least one free electron. So the first Nd states in the conduction bands are filled. Then it will be more difficult for the electrons to reach the conduction band, bridging the gap between the covalent bond and valence bond. So the number of electron hole pairs thermally generated at the temperature will be decreased. That means the recombination rate will be decreased. So the Fermi level is an indication of probability of occupying the energy states. Since because of the doping, the more energy states in the conduction bands are filled, the Fermi level will move towards the conduction band in n-type semiconductor. And the electron concentration N is given by N is equal to Nc into e power of minus of Ec minus Ef by Kt. This expression is discussed in my previous lecture. So if you want, you can refer to that. So here in n-type semiconductor, N, that is the number of electrons, is equal to Nd, that is the donor ion concentration Nd. Nd is equal to, so we can replace the value of Nd by Nd. So N by Nd, that is Nd is equal to Nc into e power of minus of Ec minus Ef by Kt. So if we take this Nc to this side, we get Nd by Nc is equal to e to the power of minus of Ec minus Ef by Kt. Now we are taking the logarithm on both sides. That means we are applying the logarithm on both sides of this equation. So we get the expression as minus of Ec minus Ef by Kt is equal to ln of Nc by Nd. Therefore, if we simplify this expression, we get Ec minus Ef is equal to Kt into ln of Nc by Nd. This is very important to find the Fermi level in case of n-type semiconductor. If the value of Kt ln of Nc by Nd decides the placement of Fermi level in n-type semiconductor. Here the constant Nc is equal to 4.82 into 10 to the power of 15 into mn by m whole to the power of 3 by 2 into t to the power of 3 by 2 per meter cube. This is the value of Nc, that is the carrier concentration in conduction band, and the donor concentration Nd is given by atomic concentration into number of donor impurity atoms per silicon atom. Here we can also take the germanium. This is as an example. We are assuming silicon here, that's it. There is no importance to the silicon atom. There it can be germanium also. So the expression, that is Kt ln of Nc by Nd, if this expression is equal to 0, then it happens only when Ef is equal to Ec, then only it becomes 0. So if it is equal to 0, then the Fermi level, we can say that the Fermi level Ef coincides with the conduction band. And if the value is negative, then the Fermi level Ef will fall below the conduction band, that is Ec. If its value is negative, then its a value, that is the Fermi level value, will be at the top of the conduction band, that is Ef is above the Ec. So this is how the value of Kt ln of Nc by Nd decides the placement of Fermi level in case of n-type semiconductor. If we consider the intrinsic carrier concentration Ni, then we can write the expression for Nd as Nd is equal to Ni into e to the power of Ef minus Efi by Kt. Ef is the Fermi level of the current semiconductor and Efi is the Fermi level regarding the intrinsic type semiconductor. So if we rearrange this equation, we get Nd by Ni is equal to e to the power of Ef minus Ef by Efi by Kt. So therefore we can write the expression for the differences in the Fermi levels as EF minus EFi is equal to KT ln of Nd by Ni. Here the value of Nd is approximately equal to n, that is the number of electrons. So we can modify this as Kt ln of n by Na. This is an important expression in case of finding the Fermi levels of intrinsic semiconductors as well as the extrinsic semiconductors. This is the difference between the Fermi levels of both the semiconductors, and this energy diagram shows the Fermi levels of extrinsic type semiconductor. That is the 4 types of semiconductors. No? So the first one is at the top of the conduction band, that is the degenerative semiconductor is the semiconductor whose doping is greater than 10 to the power of 18, that is at most doping is for degenerative semiconductor. So it lies within the conduction band, and the lightly doped semiconductor is at the bottom of the conduction band, that is EC. So this is as shown in the figure. Now let us go to the Fermi level in p-type semiconductor. We know that the p-type semiconductor is produced by adding the acceptor ions, that is the third group elements or impurities to the intrinsic semiconductors, say silicon or germanium, that is a pure semiconductor. We are adding the acceptor atoms. As a result of this we are getting the p-type semiconductor. This concept we already discussed. Here the energy band diagram here is as shown like this. That means the Fermi level moves close towards the valence band rather than conduction band in case of p-type semiconductor. This is the main difference in case of p-type and n-type semiconductor. That means here in p-type semiconductor the number of holes are increased instead of number of electrons, whereas in case of n-type semiconductor the number of electrons are more, so it is moved towards the conduction band, whereas in p-type semiconductors the number of holes are more, so the Fermi level here moves towards the valence band. That means here it moves towards the valence band. This is the difference between the p-type and n-type semiconductor. And the concentration acceptor ion concentration, that is Na is equal to Nv into e to the power of minus of Ef minus Ev by Kt. Here the number of holes P is equal to Pn is equal to Nv, and the number of holes in p-type semiconductor is equal to Na. So we get e to the power of minus of Ef minus Ev by Kt is equal to Nv by Na. From this expression we get e to the power of Ef minus Ev by Kt is equal to Na. But we know that Nv is equal to P. So we can also write it as P by Na. And the value of Nv here is equal to 4.82 into 10 to the power of 15 into Mp by M whole to the power of 3 by 2 into T to the power of 3 by 2, and the units are per centimeter cube. Here the Mp is the effective mass of holes and M is the mass of electron and T is the temperature in degree Kelvin. So, and the expression for Na, that is the acceptor ion concentration, is given by atomic concentration into number of acceptor atoms per silicon atom. This could be germanium also. So the Fermi level of p-type semiconductor is derived by the expression Ef minus Ev is equal to Kt ln of Nv by Na. Here the value of Kt ln of Nv by Na decides the placement of Fermi level. So if it is equal to 0, that means it happens only when Ef is equal to Ev. That means if it is 0 means Ef is equal to Ev. That means the Fermi level lies inside the valence band. If the value of Kt ln of Nv by Na is equal to 0, then the Fermi level coincides with the valence band. If it is positive, then the Fermi level lies above the valence band, and if it is negative, the Fermi level lies below the valence band. This is how the Fermi level of p-type semiconductor changes with respect to the expression Kt ln of Nv by Na. So if we consider the intrinsic carrier concentration Ni, then we get the expression for Na as Na is equal to Ni into e to the power of EFi minus Ef by Kt. So by simplifying this expression, we get EFi minus Ef, that is the difference in the Fermi levels of intrinsic as well as the current semiconductor, that is the p-type semiconductor. We get this as Kt ln of Na by Na. In I, that is the intrinsic carrier concentration, is equal to Kt ln of P by Ni, because the atom acceptor ion concentration is equal to the number of holes in p-type semiconductor, and the energy band diagram for different types of extrinsic semiconductor is as shown. That is, the heavily doped semiconductor is at the top of the valence band, whereas the degenerative doped semiconductor is at the bottom of the EV, that is the valence band. This is how they are shown in energy band diagram, and we can find some of the differences between the n-type and p-type semiconductor. The expression for current density, resistivity, conductivity and current are same, but the notation is different for both n-type and p-type semiconductors. Suppose the standard expression for current density J is equal to n mu q epsilon, then it could be modified for p-type as Jp is equal to Na. Instead of n we are taking Na, and instead of mu we are taking mu p, and the remaining is same q epsilon. So that is how the expressions are modified for p type, and for n type we could write Jn is equal to Nd mu n q epsilon, and here the donor concentration Nd is approximately equal to n, and here the acceptor ion concentration Na is approximately equal to p. And similarly, the standard expression for sigma is n mu q. So this could be modified as Nd mu n q for n-type conductivity, and the conductivity for p-type semiconductors is given by sigma p is equal to Na mu p q. These are derived from this generalized expression, and similarly the rho is the inverse of sigma. So rho is equal to 1 by sigma, so 1 by n mu q. This is the generalized expression. So from this we can write this expressions as rho n is equal to 1 by Nd mu n q, and rho p is equal to 1 by Na mu p q. And we have one more parameter, that is the current. Current is equal to, we have n mu q epsilon A, that is J into A, we know that. So we are modifying them as Nd mu n q epsilon A for In, that is for n type, and Na mu p q epsilon A for Ip, that is for p type. This is how the expressions are different for p type and n type semiconductors. They are similar but the notation is different. This has to be remembered. So if we consider two possibilities, that means one of the possibility is if the fifth group impurities added to the atom is greater than third group impurities, that is Nd, the concentration of donor is greater than the acceptor concentration, then it becomes a n-type semiconductor. If the concentration Nd is greater than Na, then it forms an n-type semiconductor. So the expression for electron, that is the electron concentration N, is given by Nd minus Na by 2 plus under root of Nd minus Na by 2 whole square plus Ni square, where Na is far greater than Ni, that is the intrinsic carrier concentration. Then we can simplify this expression as N is equal to Nd minus Na. So we are neglecting all these terms. So we are writing N is equal to Nd minus Na. So this is an important expression to remember. And there is another possibility. If the trivalent impurities, that is the third group impurities, are greater than the fifth group impurities, then Na is greater than Nd. Then it forms a p-type semiconductor. So the expression for concentration of holes P is given by Na minus Nd by 2 plus under root of Na minus Nd by 2 whole square plus Ni square. Here Nd is far greater than Ni, that is the intrinsic carrier concentration. So we can summarize this expression as P is equal to Na minus Nd. So the concentration of electrons and holes here are given by the expression N is equal to Nd minus Na and P is equal to Na minus Nd. These two formulas are very important in solving the problems, and they are very useful for objective type questions also, because if they specified the acceptor ion concentration and donor ion concentration, then the formulas for electron concentration and hole concentrations are given by these two equations. Very important to note these points. So till now we explained about the p-type and n-type semiconductors and their Fermi level. Now we are going to discuss about the Fermi level, how it changes with respect to the temperature for n-type and p-type semiconductor. So the expression to find the Fermi level of n-type semiconductor is given by Ec minus Ef is equal to kT ln of Nc by Nd. Whereas for p-type it is given by Ef minus Ev is equal to kT ln of Nv by Na. Here the value of Ec is a fixed value, that is it is a constant, and in case of p-type semiconductor Ev is a constant. So as the value of Nd increases, that means the denominator value increases, the kT ln of Nc by Nd decreases. As a result of this, the value Ef increases. So if the numerator value increases, then the value of Ef will increase. So and if Nc increases, that is the Nc means numerator, in previous case it is a denominator, now it is numerator, that is Nc value increases, then kT ln of Nc by Nd increases. As a result of this, Ef will decrease. At this point of time, the n-type semiconductor will behave like a intrinsic semiconductor. Similarly, for p-type semiconductor also, if Na is increased, the expression becomes negative, that means very low, and Ef is increased, that means for Na the Ef will increase. For if Na increases, then Ef will increase. If Nv increases, then kT ln of Nv by Na increases, thereby the Fermi level Ef will decrease. These are the expressions, that is how the Fermi level changes with respect to the temperature, and the temperature has a great impact on the Fermi levels of both p-type and n-type semiconductors. I hope you understood my topic, and if you have any doubts and suggestions, please do comment in my comment box. For my previous lectures, please do follow my channel, and thank you for watching my video. If you like my video, please do like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you. So in my today's lesson, I discussed about the p-type and n-type extrinsic semiconductors and the Fermi levels of them. So in n-type semiconductor, the Fermi level is more towards the conduction band, whereas in p-type semiconductor, the Fermi level is more towards the valence band, and the Fermi level is more dependent on temperature, and we discussed how they are dependent on temperature, how the temperature affects the Fermi level of n-type and p-type semiconductors. So thank you. So I just want you